What were some differences that you noticed between games one and two, specifically on OKC's end, and we can transition into Indiana a little bit later.
Well, the biggest one to me, they won. Well, not the biggest one, but up there for me was they won the rebounding battle. This was something that I anticipated them to like just be able to destroy the Pacers on, and them losing it
Yeah.
and pretty handily in game one was very surprising to me. I think part of that is Hartenstein did get 5 more minutes this game, but he's up to 22 instead of 17, and he brought in 8 rebounds this game. As a team, they brought in 43,
Yeah.
and they usually rebound well as a team, but definitely Chet Holmgren so really stepped up the second game, scored 15 points in 28 minutes on 63% true shooting.
Yeah.
While in the first game, he only had nine on oh my bad, six on 30% true shooting. So he's up 9 more points, way more efficiently. Um, I just thought you mentioned him before. He is either the second or third best player on the team based on how you view it, and his
Mm,
performance in game one was kind of unacceptable. For somebody as good as I think that he is, like I think with a full off season to recover and stuff, I think he's back as an All NBA team member next year. And I thought that he would have had a very good chance of doing that had he not hurt himself because it looked like he lost some mobility post injury.
yeah.
I think
Yeah. I
he's
could
just a
see that.
fantastic player. So I was very disappointed in game one, but I was impressed with game two, even though his stats weren't off the charts. He did what he needed to do and like scored efficiently in his touches, which is all you could really ask for him. And he's one of the best defenders in the league in
Yeah.
a very important role. So I thought that was important. Thought that was major. Shout out to Aaron Wiggins. He had a fantastic game last night.
Oh
So
God. Oh God.
um I I knew that he was gonna have one this series, and because he's a really important player for that team during the regular season, I figured there would probably be a game where they lean on him, especially against a team that's as deep
Yeah.
as the Pacers. Had 18, made 5 out of 8 threes, and so he did exactly what I asked for him to do. Because he was one of my players to watch, was shoot the ball efficiently, so it made me look pretty smart. I was pretty happy with him. And the last guy I kind of want to bring up um, is Alex Caruso. We all know like Shea's gonna be great, and we
Yeah.
figured like J Dub and Chet are gonna be great with like those two a little bit inconsistent sometimes as they are younger players. So not out of the question. But Caruso 20 points last night. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. As a Sixers fan sitting there watching that game, like watching Caruso play, I couldn't help but just think like because I think we are drafting VJ Edgecombe. I was like, this is why I think VJ Edgecombe like a
Mm,
very realistic outcome for him, especially on
okay.
the defensive end. They have like similar roles. Neither one of them at this point is like a point of attack defender. Like earlier in Caruso's career, he definitely was. But with Lou Dort and Cason Wallace, Caruso kind of takes more of an off ball role. It's kind of like a guy who like gets steals and blocks and rebounds well, which they're all like important roles. And event creation is very important defensively. So that just I don't know. Like I was watching, I'm like, damn, I wish I had a player like that on my team.
Yeah,
So
bro.
that
Caruso,
like kind of
like,
got me juiced up for the draft a little bit. I hate to bring the Sixers into it, but I'm like watching that, like kind of getting hyped for a team I don't really care about because like this could be us next, like not
on
next year, but
God,
like
bro.
over the course of the next like 10 years.
Yeah.
With a guy who's like this because he's probably better than some All Stars in terms of like winning, like or
Yeah.
some guys
I
who
know
be
what you
like
mean.
star
Like,
level guys.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
Zach, not to like I like Zach Levine, like he's a fun player to watch, like really good player. Like I don't know if you ask me which one I'd rather have, like on like a team that is like competing like
Yeah.
floor raiser, I probably go Levine, but ceiling raiser, I probably go Caruso. Like I just think that's how great Caruso is. It's not a diss on Zach Levine. He's just the first one that came to mind because they were both on the Bulls at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, kind of to piggyback off of you. I mean, Alex Caruso, I think, had a really good game too. Um, I think he was very efficient in his shot making. He made four threes out of eight. He made all of his free throws, and he also played a big role, I think, in just mucking the game up. So some key takeaways that I got from OKC, they really made the Pacers play slower. I felt like at times, like it reminded me almost of like a high school game. Like, you know how like when you're guarding somebody, they're kind of like frantic on where to pass it and they're just kind of passing around. Like I feel like OKC really made Indiana kind of sit there and try to think about what move to make next. And I was really impressed by that. A big credit in that not only is for Caruso, but also Kason Wallace. I was really impressed with him this game as well. And even I told you, and this will be something that I'll probably talk about with Indiana. something that I knew that OKC would try to do was, try to make Miles Turner be uncomfortable, not be in the paint. And there were times that they got away with that. And I would see Miles Turner get beat on a couple plays on the perimeter. And some of that would also consequently turn into offensive rebounds for the Thunder again. Like I saw Kason Wallace out rebound him at one time. You saw a couple guys get boards. Aaron Wiggins had a deep three that changed the whole game. That's another guy I wanted to talk about as well. Aaron Wiggins, I was really impressed by him. I feel like he went crazy in that second quarter, bro. And I think again that'll be something that I can talk about with Indiana. And also the double big lineup in OKC, I think really worked very well today. And it made Halliburton uncomfortable, and that's not something that a lot of teams can really say. I feel like he found his rhythm in the fourth quarter, excuse me. But you want to walk away happy with this type of defensive performance, sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Halliburton, like that was my one criticism of him early in his career was like his like lack of aggression. And it's still, I think, a fair criticism of him. But yeah, definitely, because he is shooting the ball efficiently. He's turning it over more than you would like to see from him. But yeah,
Yeah,
he definitely got to get the scoring going earlier because he is a very capable scorer. He's a very good shooter.
I
But
agree. I agree,
you got to
bro.
help his team out sometimes there for sure. But
Yeah.
no,
What are
what you
some key
said about the
takeaways for Indy?
oh so what you brought up about the pace, that's a really good point. I think they do need to keep the pace up. I did find some stats for it. So the
Yeah.
first game, the pace was a 101.9. So the higher is the faster the game. And then for game two, it was a 97.6. So the pace changed by like over four, which is a pretty significant increase. But yeah, so keep the turnovers down, don't get killed on the boards, keep the pace up. And I think Halliburton to score more. Also, Miles Turner, you brought him up. We talked about him a little bit last night, but he's a great player, and I thought he did a really nice job offensively on the short rolls and the pick and roll, knocking down the shots, especially with how much what's it called, gravity that
Yeah.
Halliburton has, like being able to hit the shot when Halliburton gets like a little bit of extra help on that. But defensively, I feel like he just makes too many plays that I would classify as like a stupid play. You know what I
I,
mean? Like
I I know what you mean, bro.
I think
Yeah.
it was game one. This one just like sticks in my mind because I watched the games with my dad because he really likes basketball, and I'm like wow, that was a stupid play. It was in transition. I think it was somebody was posting up or Miles Turner's posting somebody up like in transitions 1-on-1. Nobody else is in the paint but them two, and
Yeah.
he just like, pulls him to the ground. And it didn't make sense because he put the guy on the free throw line like, and if he just stood his ground because it was a smaller guy like and didn't foul because it was just such an easy thing to do not to foul, it would have been
Yeah.
a much harder offensive possession for the Thunder, or maybe
Yeah.
he turned the ball over. But it's like a lot of things like that. Like he has just way too many turnovers in this series. I think he's averaging like 4.5 a game on the series, which you really can't have that from your center, who's like an off-ball player. Like Miles Turner sits on the perimeter. He's more of like a catch and shoot big or like pick him like pop on the short roll. It's not like
Yeah.
Miles Turner gets like a handful of like post possessions. He'll get one now and then, but you just have like you can't have over four turnovers from your center who's primarily off the ball. Um, so I think just being smarter. They are a smart team, and I would say keep the 3 point volume high. Because that team is a team that's very capable of making it, and they are undersized.
Yeah.
So I think getting up as many threes as possible for them is is very important. And I don't know. I would probably from them. I think Sim will help Shea. He has just like he might be the best I've ever seen at splitting a double team. Like
Yeah.
that's something like
Bro, he's
somebody
unguardable, bro. He's
as somebody
unguardable.
who played guard. Like I'm sure you could relate because you're also like a guard when we like play pickup or like
Yeah. Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
your high school teams or AAU teams. His ability to run the pick and roll and then just split the double every single time and create like a shot is just so underrated. I don't think I've ever seen anybody like get double with the big every time and be able to split both of them and create a good possession. But I don't know, probably like ice them, force them like to the sideline or something like that, and like just hope the role players can't
Yeah.
make
I agree.
shots.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Like Shea is like just don't let Shea beat you because the role players are inconsistent on that team. If I'm Indy, that's probably what I'm doing. Like if Shea has like 35 I love efficiently, I'm probably gonna lose this game.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, yeah, to your point, he set the record. I don't know what number he's in. But
Oh,
he
like
set a record with
73 points
yeah,
for
the
like
73
yeah.
points in 2 games. So like, we knew Shea was gonna do Shea regardless. And that's kind of like the scary part, I think, for Indiana. You got to really try to mitigate that. I felt like just again, like they allowed Shea to do whatever he wanted. And it felt like Shea was kind of almost like orchestrating this whole game, dictating who was gonna get shots, how the ball was gonna flow. And in comparison to Indiana, it was kind of like they were just on Halliburton all the time and he couldn't even get the engine going, if that makes sense, you know? Um, and kind of like, some key takeaways I got from Indy as well. I felt like separation really happened when they sat Halliburton in that second quarter. Um, Pascal Siakam had a crazy second quarter. He was kind of having like a big championship experience moment where he was filling the gaps where like Halliburton was missing. And I think that engagement also kind of was like what made him kind of miss certain defensive rotations, excuse me. Um, because every time they would swing the ball, it was always Pascal Siakam running over to try to contest a three for Aaron Wiggins or Cason Wallace or a Caruso. You know what I mean? For long term, it's gonna be a long series. I think Indiana, like you said, is a very smart team. Um, I also am really interested in seeing uh, and we can kind of transition into what we think about game 3, but how they balance Thomas Bryant and Miles Turner's or how they balance their minutes right now.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that Carlisle definitely feels like Turner is low key a defensive liability. And I guess he prefers Bryant's defense instead of Turner's offense. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they move forward for these next 2 games, especially in Indy.